All right, what's going on, guys? It is your boy TKD123 here, back here in PlayStation Source, and I was breaking down that God of War trailer. Yes, I'm still working on it. It's a lot more expansive than I ever thought there was. There's a lot more in that trailer than what meets the eye. Let me tell you something. 3 minutes turns into 18, 19 minutes real quickly. All right, so that's still coming. All right, it's definitely gonna be this week, but this did just come on the timeline, and I had to at least talk about it here on the channel. I do want to cover news topics in the future, just like this cadence, where it's very quick, very bite-sized for you to just take and go on about your day, right? So I'm wanting to just introduce this right here, and if you do enjoy the content, make sure to like on the video as well as hit subscribe to PlayStation Source to keep up with the latest and greatest in PlayStation and all things God of War Ragnarok, of course, upcoming as well. But this comes to us from a brand new site here from industry insider Tom Henderson. He just launched his website. It's called what's it called? Insider Gaming. All right, definitely go get in tune with that. Link below in the description to this article, as well as you can go follow the website there as well. But they have some really cool things talking about, of course, here, as you saw in the title and the thumbnail, Sony to launch new PlayStation 5 with a detachable disk drive, sources suggest. So we're going to go into this and I have some thoughts about this whole thing as well. So starting off here, the PlayStation 5 is set to get a unique overhaul in the middle of fiscal year 2023, with the new console launching around September 2023, says sources. Sources familiar with Sony's plans have shared details under the condition of anonymity outlining the next iteration of the PlayStation 5. It's been suggested that this new console will completely replace the A, B, and C chassis that have been in production since the console's launch. Where am I at? The console, currently named the D chassis, will have almost identical hardware to existing consoles already on the market. The most surprising new feature of the new PS5, though, is that the console will have a detachable disk drive. The detachable disk drive will be connected to the PlayStation 5 using an extra USB-C port on the back of the console. It's understood that this new PlayStation 5 console will be sold on its own or in the bundle with the detachable disk drive. It's also understood that the disk drive can also be purchased separately, so if it gets busted, there's no need to buy another entirely new console. Sources have implied that although the new detachable disk drive is portable, it will not ruin the aesthetics of the console, and it will attach to it without looking external, presumably meaning that the new PlayStation 5 will look similar to the existing model. However, the next detachable disk drive could entail that the new iteration of PlayStation 5 will be slimmer and lighter, which is something Sony has been trying to implement effectively with its latest PS5 models. It's understood that Sony is anticipating producing 18.5 million units of the new PlayStation 5 console in fiscal year 2023, and only 12 million units of the AC chassis consoles have begun to phase out. This whole article, my bad, there's a lot of cuts because there's a lot of typos in here, you know what I'm saying? Like, hey, yo, Tom, get on that. But Sony Interactive has reported that as of June 2022, the company has shipped over 21.7 million units. This is just all rambling, whatever, all that great stuff, right? So we have a new PS5 on the way, all right? And it's set to be a model that will be able to have a detachable disk drive, right? And if you look at the PS5, right, I actually have a PS5 without a disc, so I don't have that form factor, right? But I bet it's literally going to be, and the way they talk about it, how it's going to be a way that you're going to be able to connect this disk drive to make it look like all the other PS5s, right? So it won't be something that lays to the side, lays to the back, or whatever, you know what I'm saying, or like looks weird. It's going to look just like the PS5s we have now, right? So my thought here is that I think they're going to phase out the having the disk drive and the physical PS5 with a disc in it, right? I think they're going to just cut the middleman here and just kind of make those two into one unit, and that might be a lot better for production. So overall, I think this could be pretty interesting. You know what I'm saying? Like, even though I haven't heard any splits of how many disc drives are being made versus without the disc drive PS5s, I know that there are definitely a lot more consoles with the disc drive included, obviously, but to have it where we just have one singular PlayStation 5, that may help alleviate a lot of the concerns of producing these PS5s that we've seen in the past few years at this point, right? And I think it could be really cool, you know what I'm saying? And like we'll see, right? And definitely the big thing here is what happens to the price of this, right? Like, and it doesn't seem like it's going to be a pro model, right? They don't say that it's going to be any more powerful or anything like that, but they do mention that it will be a little bit lighter and slimmer. At least that's what it seems to be like on paper, right? So I wonder how that's going to all shape out when we really get this new PS5? What's the cost of that as well? Maybe they're able to use, smaller heat sinks and everything, because we've seen in other PS5 models that have came out recently, when they refer to the A, B, and C chassis and all that, there have been, I think, 2 new iterations of the PS5 that have just came to the market that are under the radar, right? So I know one was the most recent one, I think definitely decreased the amount of space that the heatsink takes up in the console and how big it is as a whole. So they definitely done that and have done efforts to overall reduce the weight and, overall just thickness, if you will, of the PS5, right? So I'm very curious to see if they're just going to make the PS5 look like the disc drive PS5 if you have a disc on it, or it'll probably look like the no disc model digital PS5 that I have as well. Maybe that's how it will look without the disc drive, right? So very curious to see how that's going to attach as well. A lot of questions here. Very, very cool to see this, and we'll see if this actually comes to fruition. If it's coming from Tom Henderson, I'm inclined to believe it. But down below, guys, what are your thoughts? We are getting a new PS5. Overall, I think it's pretty smart that they're going to be able to make just one SKU, and that may help them in the long run in terms of having to, produce more PS5. So what are your thoughts down below? Let me know down below in that comment section. Also, while you're down there, don't miss that description. You can find links to our, not only this story, but of course our Discord, our Twitter, and of course our Anchor link. That way you can listen to our long form content and podcast format. Those, of course, being the now wrapped up Road to Part 1 podcast. And next up, Ragnarok is coming. Fret not, my boys. Road to Ragnarok is coming a lot sooner than y'all think. A lot of you have enjoyed it, as well as subscribe to PlayStation Stories to keep up with the latest and greatest in PlayStation. Thank you all for watching, and as always, greatness awaits.